Hi Gemini, and welcome to your horoscope for October 2024. Thank you for joining me. It's a pleasure to be with you today. I'm in the UK, so my horoscopes are based on the UK time zone. And please watch your horoscopes in this order. First for your rising sign, then your sun sign, and finally your moon sign. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break the month down into 4 weeks, and I'm going to pay particular attention to the moon, what it's doing, how it moves through your chart, and really what areas you're going to be supported in October and on what days. So week 1, Tuesday the 1st until Sunday the 6th of October. The 1st of October, you have the moon in Virgo, and it's in your 4th house of your family, your roots, the things that make you feel safe and secure in life, right? And Virgo is about organizing things. It can be a little obsessive. So the 1st of October is really just to enjoy everything you've built and all the security you've created around you, and to really recharge almost going into the month by getting your bearings and getting a really good sense of I have both feet firmly planted on the ground and I know what I'm doing in all my areas of life. Because on the 2nd and 3rd, the moon goes into Libra and it goes into your 5th house of what you love. And on the 2nd of October, we also have a new moon in Libra, which is also a solar eclipse. I've made a separate video on that. Have a look, please, for more information. But in your case, Gemini, it happens in this 5th house of what I love, literally, like partners, but it's also what I love to do as a hobby or as work or anything that your heart reaches out for. And Libra is like a bridge, right? So this eclipse in your 5th house bodes really well for any Geminis who are wanting to connect in a meaningful and fun and positive way with people in your life. So for you, I think here on the 2nd and 3rd of October, it's a good opportunity to date and to meet new people. But I also think, for the next 6 months for you guys, any Geminis who are single and are looking, go on dates here if possible, but go on dates in October, November, December. I think you're going to be very supported in that and we'll have a better time of it than usual. Because sometimes you go on loads of dates and no one's ever right, and then other times you have one date and poof, the right person's there or someone you like is there. Then on the 4th and 5th and 6th of October, the moon goes into Scorpio, and that's in your 6th house of daily routine and your physical body and the structures of your life, right? And Scorpio is a water sign that gets to the root cause of anything. So if there's anything that you haven't been able to shift, something that's annoying to you, something that takes up a lot of your time and effort and you don't want it to, that you'll find via your feelings that you have an idea or a sense that if I try this, I'll be able to take some of the work off my plate. Like, for instance, someone who works with Excel spreadsheets or something and then finds a way of using key codes or whatever to make the whole process much simpler. And rather than it taking 2 hours, it takes 1 hour. So you're able to streamline things on the 4th, 5th, and 6th in that way. And let's see, so the houses that are covered by the moon in the first week are houses 4, 5, and 6. And that's the second quadrant, Gemini. So the second quadrant is, first of all, at the bottom of the chart, so it has to do more with home life. But it's really what makes me feel grounded and rooted and safe. What is it that I love? Or who is it that I love, or both? And how can I structure my life to bring more of that into it? So the first week for you is all about discovering what you love and then grabbing it for yourself and building it in consistently so you can experience it as often as possible. It looks great the first week. Okay, so week 2, Monday to Sunday, 7th to 13th of October. On the 7th and 8th, we have the moon in Sagittarius, and that's now, again, in your 7th house of relationships. But these are relationships with anybody, right? With colleagues, with bosses, with friendships, family, anybody. It's not just about romantic love. And the moon in Sagittarius is about exploring. And these 2 days, 7th and 8th, are fabulous for you to make new friends or to visit new places, to put yourself out there doing something that's fun and meeting someone who maybe has a similar interest. Again, it's great for dating and meeting new people, but also I would say making new friends specifically. Then on the 9th and 10th, the moon goes into Capricorn, and that goes into your 8th house. So if you need to do any work with estates, estate management, or probate, or the taxes, or visa applications, or government stuff, or legal stuff. These are the 2 days to really, really do that. The 9th and 10th, if you devote yourself to any of those kind of complicated things, you'll not only make a huge amount of progress, you could even resolve them. On the 9th of October, Jupiter retrogrades until the 4th of February. So when an outer planet retrogrades, the influence comes from within. And Jupiter's good luck. It's in Gemini in your first house. So this is really a blessing to you, Gemini, because it's in your sign. And if you're someone who likes to problem solve, or you write, or you do a comedy act, or you work in IT, or you use your intellect to problem solve, basically, or to cause an effect, that you will be so much more inspired now. New original content will come from within. So if you're in that kind of field, or if you're a teacher or an academic or a scientist or an inventor, a lot more ideas will come through. So you'll have a much better time of it here in October, and it retrogrades until the 4th of February. So if you've been stuck for ideas, you won't be much longer. Seriously, I love it. On the 10th, we've got the moon in its second quarter, and it's waxing, so it's getting bigger, right? And it's in that 8th house. So you may feel that I can get all of these things done, and you may have a small success on the 9th that then inspires you to take on something even more difficult in one of those areas and even get that done. And it's next to Pluto, so you can transform a really difficult situation, like, paying off a debt, or being stuck in some sort of a contract. By devoting yourself to it on those 2 days, you'll really be able to solve a tricky problem like that. On the 11th of October, we have Pluto going direct, and that's still in Capricorn. It enters Aquarius on the 19th of November. But in your case, this Pluto Capricorn, the final retrograde, it's going to be in Aquarius pretty much for the next 20 years, right? In your 8th house, it allows you to unravel structures in your life that keep you suffocated and trapped. So like I said, those, having these obligations or debts or something, you find a way to solve that so it's not constantly hanging over you. The moon is in Aquarius on the 11th and 12th, and that's a great time to study and to learn and to examine things and to find a different solution. It's also good for travel in a physical sense, but it's also good to receive information from the higher realms, like from the Akashic records. And if you haven't been able to find the information on the internet, you may want to ask for the information on a spiritual level. Then on the 13th, the moon goes into Pisces, and it goes into your 10th, and this is, something in my work now is less problematic. All the work I've done here in this second week has really helped me get to a calmer and more secure place where the pressures of, as far as my career is concerned. So again, what's an example? Like if you've got a disciplinary at work or something, and you have to go through the humiliation of that, and then the disciplinary or the investigation is resolved, and you get to go, okay, the drama is over, I get to really relax a little bit. On the 13th of October, we've got Mercury ingressing into Scorpio, and it does that. It goes into your 6th house. Venus is also in there in Scorpio in your 6th house. So that's interesting because you're going to feel very, you're going to have a strong desire to control your daily routine and to amend it. And I think the 13th of October, even though you've had this sense of relief as far as your career is concerned, or problem solving is concerned, I think now you may feel a longing to have more intimacy and connection in your life. So those are good days to date. The 13th particularly is a good day to go on dates, to meet new people. So in week 2, the houses we've covered are the 7th, 8th, and 9th, and 10th. So that's the 3rd quadrant. It's the public, right? Relationships with individuals in the public, with organizations, with my own intellect and learning, and the organizations I have to then touch to get that information. And finally, on the 13th, how do I pour all of this work into my career? So I think the best thing to do in week 2 is to problem solve as far as your job is concerned, and to make that simpler for yourself. Week 3, Monday to Sunday, the 14th to the 20th of October. 14th and 15th, we've got the moon in Pisces, yes, and that's in your 10th. So it's not just the 13th, it's the 14th, 15th as well. So all of those days I think are going to be kind of soothing and relaxing as far as your work is concerned. And I think you would have problem solved in the first 2 weeks. Then on the 16th and 17th, it goes into Aries in your 11th. And that's really a good time to heal friendships, to take a bit of a breather now, time out for yourself, and to say, do you know what, even though I solved this headache in my work or in my connections with organizations, I want to get to a place where I know what my ultimate direction is in life. I want to get back on track. I want to forget about these details and again, look at the bigger picture of what I'm doing. So the 16th and 17th, there's going to be a great sense of optimism, but again, relief and a sense of there's a fresh start here. I can start over. I can go in a different direction if something hasn't worked out. And if something has worked out, I can put it to bed and be done with it. So I'm relieved. So a lot of that coming in for you, Gemini. On the 17th as well, we have the full moon in Aries. And that full moon happens in your 11th house and it's sitting next to Chiron. So any things that you've wanted to create or build in the past and that have been disappointments, right? You'll be able to try again and heal a disappointment from the past and mend it in the present. And I would really encourage you to do that because on the 17th as well, Venus ingresses into Sagittarius, and that is in your 7th now. And that is any disappointments I've had in my relationships, I want to change. You've got the Sun in Libra, the midheaven in Libra, Juno, Black Moon, Lilith, South Node, all transiting your 5th house in Libra. So from this time onwards, the 17th of October, I don't think so much now it's about problem solving. It's about making new friends, expanding your social network, and even a desire to fall in love with another person. But ultimately, it's I want to experience something new. I want to have fun. I want to live. On the 18th and 19th, the moon goes into Taurus, and that's in your 12th house of spirituality. So Taurus is an earth sign, right, which is a feminine element. And the 12th house isn't earthy, it's the other way. It's ethereal, it's the invisible, it's spirituality, it's what you can't touch. So with your moon being in there, listen to your dreams, pay attention to the message you get via your intuition, your feelings. There may be another solution or a way to create order out of chaos by listening to the messages of your higher self. On the 20th, the moon goes into Gemini, so in your 1st house again, next to Jupiter in Gemini. So the 20th is a fabulous day for you to get your point across, to write, to speak, to teach, to think, to problem solve, not just in a practical IT or maths way, but to solve a problem within yourself that's held you back and kept you stuck. So it's interesting because the theme so far has been really public relationships, and then work and hopes and dreams. But now it's going towards the self feels better as a result of all the work being done until the 20th here. So in week 3, the moon goes houses 10, 11, 12, and 1, and that's pretty much the 4th quadrant. And that is about transcending your current circumstances and upgrading them. So it's about using your intellect to problem solve, and that will allow you to upgrade your practical circumstances, your job, the way you feel about yourself, any issues that have been unresolved in your life so far. Okay, let's see. Week 4, Monday to Wednesday, the 21st to 31st of October. On the 21st, we still have the moon in Gemini. That's now much closer to Jupiter in your 1st house. And I think the 20th and 21st, those are going to be really fun days in terms of being able to see what it is you really want in relationships and also making progress in the future, but actually being able to start working on that. On the 22nd and 23rd, the moon goes into Cancer in your 2nd house of money. That's a good day to get your finances in order, and it's a day to watch out for what you're being paid. So pay negotiation, contracts, promotions, And I think the only thing to warn you about is that it may be a little frustrating if you can't increase something, and that would then prompt you to find a way of taking care of yourself by doing something independently on top of an existing job. But if you can schedule in like a mediation or a discussion about your salary, the 22nd and 23rd are really good days to do that. 24th and on the 22nd, the sun goes into Scorpio, and that goes into your 6th house of work. So really the understanding of how my life looks and what I'm doing and whether the daily routine suits me is going to become crystal clear to you, and it's even more clear to you from the 22nd onwards. On the 24th and 25th, the moon is in Leo, and on the 24th, the moon is in its 4th quarter, and it's now waning down towards being a new moon in Scorpio on the 1st of November, right? So on the 24th, it gives you great confidence if you have to do any public speaking or if you have to present yourself, but it's unlikely that you go too far and appear as arrogant or overly confident. So anything that's quite delicate, where you have to find a certain tone or the right words or a particular way of speaking, do that on the 24th, particularly the 25th to some degree. But those 2 days are really great for putting your best foot forward. But it's also good for rediscovering your own joy or getting the right perspective on something that may be up for discussion and may be ambiguous. So if there's something that you haven't quite made a decision on, look at it over those 2 days and you'll find the best answer possible. The moon then goes into Virgo on the 26th, 27th, and 28th, and that's in your 4th house of your roots and your family. So one, you understand what is most important in your life. What makes you feel calm? Is it having money, or is it a house, or is it your loved ones, or is it your faith in a higher power? It's a nice day to enjoy peace and quiet, to really understand what brings you the most joy and what's most valuable in your life. And it's an opportunity to spend time with those people or those things, whatever it is they are. And it feels very soothing. Then on the 29th, 30th, and 31st of October, we've got the moon going into into Libra in your 5th house. And those are great 3 days to date and to fall in love and to, again, overcome past disappointments, but also to find what is it that I love to do that would make me self-employed. 31st of October, Halloween, we've got the moon going into, it's still in Libra, but it's in your 5th house. So I think not spending Halloween on your own is a good idea, but spend it with someone you love or as your friend or you care about. Because for you, Halloween is a day where you're almost like taking stock. Am I experiencing difficulties? Am I disappointed? Or have I done things in the now that make up for some of the potentially difficult things I've had to deal with? So try and do something at Halloween. It'll be a nice opportunity for you to celebrate and to leave things in the past. It's like it can almost be a ritual for you to say, I'm moving into something new and something better now. Yeah. Also, the strongest element on that day is water. So if you want to do anything like a seance, or you're into mediumship or channeling, do it then. You'll make great progress. Okay, so I hope that gives you an idea of what you'll be working with, Gemini. I hope you have a fabulous October. If you'd like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, click on book your reading to audio reading with me. And to draw up your natal chart, I need your place of birth, date of birth, and time of birth. If you don't have the time of birth, then order a chart rectification with me, please. That's a process where I work that out, and it makes your chart more accurate because it changes every 4 minutes. So have a look at that. Check out some of my other videos. I do a daily tarot reading on this channel. If you want to watch that, please do become a member. And videos on the eclipses, the new moons, the full moons. Have a look at those, particularly the one on the 2nd of October, the eclipse, and I'll make a video for the full moon in Aries on the 17th of October. So have a wonderful month, and I'll speak to you soon. All the best.